I'm gonna try to keep this video down to 10 minutes. It's really hard to keep this thing down to 10 minutes. But we're gonna try here. So listen, I got some problems. You know, I'm feeling some pressures. It's kind of hard for me to find a job right now. I'm sure GRSE Metro Mall has something to do with it. I'm sure, you know, some of the things that I've done before since I've been here have something to do with it if people are calling. But there's a couple of things that a couple of things that they're in place that I will be very successful. I mean, you know, time and time again, when these things are in place, I am always very successful and dare I say exceptional. You don't have an absolute start time. You know, it's a flexible start time. Low supervision. I don't like micromanagers. I can't stand working with managers because they got their perception of the way things should or shouldn't be done. I don't work with that. I'm always trying to figure out how to do a thing better. If I can. And if your way, you know, proves to be the best, then I'll go back to that way. But if it doesn't, if I find something that works better for me and still gets the job done, then I'm going to go that way. Or I want to go that way. I don't always stay in my lane. I'm always trying to think like even as an employee, I'm always trying to think like a boss, like I'm an employer. I think that bothers employers, you know, sometimes, and supervisors sometimes, because they feel like that's their position. And, you know, you become too smart, you know, they feel like you threaten their position. And I personally experienced that too. Goal-orientated jobs. We need this job done. This is what we need done. And so when those things are in place, I'm really, really successful. I've applied for a job, you know, watching ATM techs. I thought I was a shoo-in, but I think, you know, somebody has seen my videos and now they got some questions and maybe it has something to do with the Georgia address. I don't know. But, you know, the YouTube channel may be causing me problems, but I won't take it down, which is also telling me something that I'm banking on me, that I'm going with me. First and foremost. And I know I lost the job recently because I told the guy that I'm going with me first and you second. That I'm the one, you know, that I'm the one that matters and I'm just working a job for you. I'm sure he didn't want to hear that. But it was a commission job. It was a 100% commission job pretty much. And basically, if I'm successful, you're successful. So I'm focusing on me. If I'm successful, you're successful, and I want to be successful at it. And selling cell phones is something that I've done before, and I've been very successful at it, kind of doing it my way. People don't necessarily want to hear that. So, you know, which is one of the reasons why I don't apply for corporate America, because corporate America has very set ways of doing that. So, you know, those are kind of like the problems that I'm having. And I know that when I start to get up late and push my time, I kind of know that you know, I don't really like the job. It doesn't necessarily mean I quit. I mean, I didn't like the Metro Mall at all. People used to think I loved that job. Used to hate that job. Used to hate it to death. Used to hate getting up going there, right? And I was supposed to be there at 11. When I decided to catch the train, I get there about 11:20. Otherwise, I get there like 10 minutes before 11, and there was no way I was showing up early for that job. I just did not care. Wasn't going to happen. And then there was always the dispute about the money. I wanted more money. They didn't want to pay me any more money, so I just give them less time. So that was something that was a part of that too. But I hated that job. And so when I start pushing things like, oh, I got 30 minutes to get there and I don't leave the house till 30 minutes, that's telling me that, man, I am completely uninterested. I don't want to do it. Doesn't mean when I get there I'll do a bad job. I'll do the best job I possibly can. That's just who I am. But man, I don't want to be there. And you know, over my lifetime, you know, there's been a lot of jobs like that, man. I've been working entry-level jobs for like the last 30 years and I can't stand it. I've been since wanting to stop looking for a job in my mid-20s. Because I hate trying to convince people that I'm worthy when I know not only am I worthy, but I'm probably better than what you expect, probably better than what you needed, will probably outthink you, and will probably tweak your procedure. And, you know, I've been on job sites. I remember one apartment complex here in Michigan in like 2010, where they had a gay, she was a gay maintenance woman, and on the back of my car, it had drag queens crash and die in the corners. Now, she thought that was a gay slur, and while it may be a double entendre a little bit, I was basically talking about drag racers. They crash and die in the corners because drag racers go straight. Mini Coopers are all about the corners. But since she was offended, they pulled me off the site, right? A couple of months later, the manager, you know, wanted me back on the site because no one they had replaced me with could do that job and did that job as well as I did that job. And mind you, you had nothing like the confrontations you had at the Metro Mall or even in Detroit's red zone by 7 Mile. Nothing like that. You know, none of those kind of confrontations. Wasn't even necessary. And I even broke up a fight or two. So, hey. You know, and so those are my problems, and those are the things, you know, those are the things I'm just dealing with right now. And, you know, and I'm a little stressed out because the stuff is critical. And, you know, I think one job I've also done well at, you know, I can see the trolls, you know, laughing, putting their hands on the keyboards, ready to make all kinds of comments. You know, those few videos where you see me, you know, hold the dog at bay with a pistol, I was handing out flyers. Flyers? Dude, I made more money handing out flyers. The only other job that I made more money than handing out flyers was selling cell phones, and I was making $1,000 a week doing that. And I never misquoted doing that. I was making $1,000 a week at one company. I was making an average of $700 a week at another company. The pay structures are different. But, you know, low supervision, no one micromanaged me. It was just a good thing. It was just a good thing. One job I didn't get along with the district manager at all. Thought he was an ass, and he thought I was an ass. And then the other one I didn't get along with one particular employee, but he had pulled with management and I didn't. And it's kind of funny because the manager was told that he needed to fire me. The manager didn't want to fire me. But since the employee had pulled with the person that was above him, he eventually had to do it. But he didn't want to do it. Why? Because I was the best salesman in the store. But whatever. Anyway, I was handing out flyers. I hand out flyers. I take it to a point where, you know, I do it better than what's expected. I think about, you know, how to hang the flyer so it won't blow away, or how to place the fire so it won't blow away, or you know, how to position it if you got to fold it to put it up there, you know, so, you know, it's the most eye-catching. I pay attention to those kind of details. So, but he can't keep me working. If he could keep me working, believe me, I'd have never worked at the Metro Mall. I'd have never been there, because been working for this guy on and on since 2006. I mean, that's how well he pays. You know, if I got to go someplace and assemble a crew, you know, I've been to Kansas for him. I've been to Oklahoma for him. I've been to Indiana, Tennessee, South Carolina, not South Carolina, Texas, Louisiana. You know, I've been to these places for him. And got there on the ground and assembled a crew and got to work. You know, pays me very well. Travel time, oh no, I get paid for that. Fuel costs, yeah, I get paid for that. You know, what it cost me for the hotel, I get paid for that. You know, and I've done that job and handed out flyers and made as much as $200-300 a day handing out flyers. Why would I go work for the Metro Mall for $500 a week when I can do that working 2 days for this guy. Or even if I just stay in Atlanta. Yeah, man. There is no point doing that. You know, I can work a part-time. I can work that job part-time and still make more money than I made working for the Metro Mall. So, you know, I don't understand some things. But he just couldn't keep me working. The guy likes me. I like this guy. I'm dependable. I've always been dependable on any of these jobs. I've always been dependable. I'm as good as my word. And, you know, with certain parameters I really kind of met, I'm very, very successful over a long period of time. And I'm just having some problems, man, and I just don't understand it. You know, I just don't understand it. Now, I've also been, you know, scared to, you know, hold low-end jobs for long periods of time. Because, you know, it's almost like you look at your life and this might be the rest of my life. And I don't want to be the rest of my life. And I didn't start being able to hold a job for a decent period of time until I started to look at all these jobs as temporary, man. This is just temporary. This is just temporary. And that's when I've been able to hold a job longer. And that's kind of how I looked at the Metro Mall. The job was just temporary for however long I was doing it. A year, 2 years. I don't think I would have been there much past 2 years. Anyway, I think in conclusion, you know, I'm gonna dedicate this to you know, D, the flyer guy, you know, Bobby, the trash valet, which I made $30 an hour doing. So y'all can laugh at that too. I made $30 an hour being a trash valet. You know, Bené Brown, who says you got to be out, you got to put yourself out there, and so I'm putting myself out here a little bit. And I made these videos, and you know, I never kept them. I've always deleted them. And you know, some guy named Swoozy, man. Although I don't have his animation skills. I wish I did. I don't even have his production skills. I don't have the equipment. But you know, you got to start somewhere, right? So I still need a job. I still need an income. Things got to happen. I got to make them happen. And that's pretty much it, man. Those are my problems. And I'm just trying to work through them. And I think I'll post this one. So I'll see you later.